Did anyone wish Menendez good luck for next week for that sleazeball?
What if he's acquitted and runs for re-election?
I guess we'll see. But what's clearly happened, he got lucky the last trial. Some people would say I should be more careful or I should fly straight. But now he, thought it's like I can get away with anything, and then he tripled down on all of that. He won't be around much longer. That would be my bet.
Let's go to Eric Shawn. So we have the verdict. Now we know what it is. Eric Shawn, live for us at the Manhattan Federal Court. Eric.
Yes, Harris, guilty. All defendants found guilty on count 1 and 2 are being told right now from the courtroom.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a story that really should surprise nobody if you've been paying attention to the corruption within the Democrat Party, although some people may be surprised because the mainstream liberal media tends to not cover the corruption of the Democrat Party. So, unfortunately, a lot of people are ignorant on news stories like this story right here, where you have a senator, Mr. Bob Menendez, who was found guilty of being a foreign agent. I believe 16 felony counts. This guy used to be the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, while at the same time being a sellout to America, right? Like quite literally selling out the country while heading a Senate committee on foreign relations.
Let's go to Eric Shawn. So we have the verdict. Now we know what it is. Eric Shawn, live for us at the Manhattan Federal Court. Eric.
Yes, Harris, guilty. All defendants found guilty on count 1 and 2 are being told right now from the courtroom. This means New Jersey's senior senator, Robert Menendez, who is seeking re-election as an independent, has been convicted of conspiracy to commit bribery and conspiracy to commit honest services wire fraud, along with 2 New Jersey businessmen. As we have been reporting, he was able to skip out and avoid this type of conviction in his last corruption trial, in which it ended in a hung jury. But Robert Menendez, the senior senator from New Jersey, longtime Democrat for decades, in power in the Garden State, former chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate, convicted, guilty, according to this, for selling his office, as prosecutors said, for power. He was accused of helping the government of Egypt as well as the government of Qatar, acting indeed as a foreign agent of the Egyptian government in exchange for bribes. Those bribes, prosecutors said, $480,000 in cash, found strewn all over his house, according to the FBI, even in his jacket pockets, in clothes, in boxes, as well as those 13 gold bars found in the closet of his wife, Nadine Menendez, who was also charged. Mrs. Menendez, though, her trial postponed indefinitely because she suffers from breast cancer. But so far, it seems a sweeping victory for the government at this time. At least 3 through 5, Menendez is guilty. So far, the senator from New Jersey is getting a total conviction sweep by the federal prosecutors, convicted of conspiracy to commit bribery, count 1, conspiracy to commit honor services fraud, conspiracy to commit extortion under the color of official right. That's the actual charge, that he extorted these businessmen in order to be part of this scheme. Counts 6 through 8 guilty. There are 16 counts relating to Menendez, 18 related to the other 2 defendants who are the businessmen. So you have actions to benefit the businessmen guilty, services wire fraud guilty, conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice. That is when a prosecutor said he sent an attorney in to try and explain all this before he was charged. They deemed that obstruction of justice, that he was trying to prevent him being charged. He was also charged with trying to obstruct a federal prosecution of one of his co-defendants, a businessman. Basically, Harris, prosecutors laying out a corrupt 9 through 12 guilty. So we have almost a clean sweep of guilty verdicts here at this courthouse so far.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, so this guy seems to not be moving very intelligently, and that's probably why the Biden DOJ actually went after the guy, because he was just too sloppy, okay? I mean, this guy had gold bars, cash, evidence just out in the open in his house for anybody to find and see that he was selling out the country, taking bribes. And the crazy part is that you don't even need to live a life of crime and to be a criminal and a foreign agent like Bob Menendez and his wife to accumulate gold. Are you worried about the future of the U.S. economy? With so much uncertainty in the air, it is natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. However, there's one asset that stands the test of time, and that is gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals in order to secure your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments has never been easier with its streamlined process and expert guidance. This election year, do not let the volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. And Noble Gold Investments will give you up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar if you open a qualified account. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com now. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. And the sad part about it is that the mainstream liberal media isn't going to do their jobs and actually cover this story like they should because they're obsessed with Trump, right? Attacking Trump after the failed assassination attempt. They're obsessed with attacking Trump again because they know that this probably is going to help him win. Okay, so you have Democrats, though, in the Senate, the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, calling on Menendez to resign after guilty verdict. Now, me personally, I think that Menendez should have been kicked out before this. I mean, it was so obvious that this guy was guilty that even John Fetterman could see it, right? However, because Democrats, unlike Republicans, they are assumed to be innocent until proven guilty. However, when it comes to Republicans, you're assumed to be guilty until proven innocent. So when you are a Republican and you do something like Bob Menendez, they kick you out instantly, right? They hold a vote, you're done, okay? That's what happened to George Santos, okay? Even though George Santos, in my opinion, yeah, he lied, okay? I'm not a George Santos fan, but I think what Bob Menendez did was actually worse, okay? I think it was a lot worse. And the Republicans decided to go along with the Democrats and kick out George Santos to make a statement that, in my opinion, did not help out the Republicans at all. It didn't help them get one vote, but they did lose a seat, right? You did lose a seat in Congress because you decided to kick out George Santos. Even though, just allegations, he hasn't been found guilty of anything yet. But you let Bob Menendez stay until he was found guilty, because now Republicans are going to come out, Democrats are going to come out, and they're going to say, oh, Bob Menendez should be removed. We got to kick him out. But he should have been kicked out before if we're applying the standards here equally. But we're not, right? And that's one of my biggest problems with Republicans is that type of weakness is why Democrats just get away with the nonsense. Because you're just rolling over, right? So Bob Menendez, he is defiant. He's claiming that if he can go down as being a foreign agent, then every member of the Senate can also go down for being a foreign agent. Take a look.
Have the audio of Senator Menendez. So let's listen and hear what he had to say immediately after being found guilty.
Good afternoon. Obviously, I'm deeply, deeply disappointed by the jury's decision. I have every faith that the law and the facts did not sustain that decision and that we will be successful upon appeal. I have never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for my country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent, and the decision rendered by the jury today would put at risk every member of the United States Senate in terms of what they think a foreign agent would be. I know my attorney want to say something, and then I'll get going.
So Senator Bob Menendez describing himself as a patriot of the country and denying that anything happened that was illegal. Let me go back to you.
Yeah, so Bob Menendez found guilty on charges that Joe Biden honestly should be found guilty on, okay? I don't understand how they're going after Bob Menendez for being a foreign agent, but not Hunter Biden and also Joe Biden as well too, right? I really don't get it. I really don't understand it, okay? But they're going after Bob Menendez. Maybe Bob Menendez pissed off Biden. I'm not entirely sure. But what I do find fascinating about Bob Menendez's response is not his defiance, but the fact that he claims that the decision rendered by the jury would put at risk every United States senator when it comes to what they think about what constitutes a foreign agent. And if that is the case, Bob Menendez, I need you to spill the beans. I need you to talk. Talk to the public, okay? Talk to the public. You need to come out and explain, what do you mean by that? In fact, Mr. Menendez, I'd be more than happy to give you a space to explain, what do you mean by the decision rendered by the jury that found you guilty of being a foreign agent, okay? And I've seen all the evidence against you. Seems pretty strong, right? Seems pretty strong that you are a foreign agent, my guy. So if you're saying that the jury and their decision should worry other U.S. senators, I want to know what you know. What do you know? Because every foreign agent that is working in this government should be exposed. Every single one of them, and found guilty and thrown behind bars, because we should not have foreign agents in our government. And trust me, I know the rabbit hole is deep. I believe Bob Menendez. All right. I really do believe it. I believe that a vast majority of senators, Republicans and Democrats, are doing the same thing. They just didn't get their card pulled for whatever reason. Now you did. And since you got your card pulled, then I'm just saying that, you know, if you're going to make these claims that it's not just you, right, it's other people too, then you should elaborate on that, right? You can't be so vague about it. You got to start naming names. You're already convicted. You're going to jail. You ain't got nothing else to lose, okay? Come on, give us some more information, because I want to know who is selling out American taxpayers like you did, right? I want to know. So, again, that's what I found to be fascinating about this response. This guy should have been kicked out before. If the Republicans weren't so weak, he would have already been gone. But he got found guilty. They'll all come together now and kick him out if he doesn't resign. You know, he's running for re-election. He's saying that he's innocent. But if he was a Republican, he would have been kicked out a long time ago. And that's my biggest issue with this story. That and the fact that the mainstream liberal media, they're not going to cover this the way that they should, okay? Because it should be a top news story. You just had a Democrat senator be found guilty of being a foreign agent. Yeah, we should be talking about that, right? What does that mean? Who else is a foreign agent? But again, the liberal media, they don't do journalism anymore. They don't ask questions, because if they ask those questions, it lead them back to the so-called commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, right? So they really don't want to ask those questions. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.